What's going on, guys? Thank you for joining me in the shop today, where we are going to be making a conical shaped table base and an oval shaped tabletop made out of solid ash. And this is a selection of 8/4 ash and 4/4 ash that we'll be using to make this table. The 8/4 ash will be used to make the tabletop, and the 4/4 ash will be used to make the table base. We have our 4/4 material here. This is what we'll be using for making the table base. And like you see here, this is rough ash. And if we were going to start from this point, then we would go through the milling process of going through the planer and the joiner to get everything square and all the same thickness. But I have skipped that process and ordered some of my 4/4 already milled down to the right thickness. I have this one here just for an extra, just in case I mess something up. Mistakes do happen. And so we're going to go ahead and start cutting these down to a rough dimension, and then we can start going to the table saw to start putting on the angles and the compound angles that we'll need in order to form this cone. All of our staves cut. We need to make a jig to go on the table saw. Now we're at the table saw. We are going to use this tapering jig instead of making the jig. Forgot that I had this, and it's actually just the perfect size for it. So let's get to it. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to set this to the angle we want it at. Now I already have this preset. I have some marks on here where I'm going to do my first angle and my second angle. You can see here I have my line for my first and you have a line for my second. So since I've already did my practice cuts, I know where to do this at. But when you're setting yours up, you'll have to find out what angles or what measurements your boards are for whatever size table base you're making. But for mine, I am going to release this and then release this one. And I have a mark on both ends basically set up for whenever we do the first and the second cut. So I'm gonna line this up for the first one here, and then up top as well. We gotta line it up and then basically tighten these down. And then that sets us up for our first cut. So if you see there, I'm on my first line, both here and here, so that I can see it. And basically this taper is going to allow me to put a taper on it. And then also we're going to have this blade set at 81 degrees. Like I said before, we're going to set this blade to 81 degrees, and this is per the calculation that we're supposed to be setting our angles to for the staves. And so all you gotta do is take a digital gauge like this and basically set it 0 to your bed, and then put it back on your blade to set your angle there. Set one flat edge up against here, put it at our stop, take our clamps, tighten down our workpiece. All right, so now that we have all the angles cut on one side, now we're gonna go back to the table saw and back to the tapering jig, set the tapering jig for the second cut, and cut the taper and the angles on the second side. So just trim this guy. And then unscrew that guy, move this over to the second one, tighten that down, make sure the first one is still good. And now we're ready to cut the second cut. All right, so we just finished cutting the first cut, which is this angle here. This one is still straight and 90 right here. So now what we're going to do is flip this over to where we have the shorter end towards us, and the angle, the longer part of the angle is still on top, and the lower part is down here. And then we're going to set this direction on our jig that is in the second position. Tighten those up. And now this is going to be in line to where it's going to start at that larger end and then come in closer down to this edge. So this will be a smaller portion and that'll be the larger portion to make our tapered stave. So we are back at the miter saw, and what we're going to do now is taper off each end of the stave, the bottom and the top. And if you can see here, if I hold this straight up, there's an angle on there, but if I lean it in the direction that it's going to be leaned in once the table base is made, then this is going to be parallel to the floor. If we didn't do it, then there will be a gap in between here and the tabletop, and a gap at the floor and table base. So in order to not have that gap, we're going to lean this guy a little like that. And for our miter saw setup and this table base, we're going to be setting this at 78.9 degrees. Another thing we're going to need is something to make sure that this blade and this end here are squared up. And if we just push it up to the fence, then we're going to be at that angle that we just cut it at. So what we did is took some of the offcuts from the practice pieces and marked them. This is my first one for the first cut, and this one will be for the second one when I flip it around for the second cut. And what that allows us to do is to place this guy right here, and now we are going to be in line with the blade, so when we come down, this is a square cut. The other thing that we have done over here is put ourselves a stop block here, and what that allows us to do is be able to mark our first and second cuts. As you can see there, that mark there is the second cut and is currently on the first cut mark. So basically this allows us to have repetition and a repeatable process to make this process go a little faster. Before we get started, I want to let you know which direction this stave should be facing. So our bevels are going this way, so that the smaller end of the bevel, or the smaller portion of the stave, is at the bottom, and the wider portion of the bevel is at the top. So this is tapered in at both sides like that, and we need this to be faced down. And when we flip it to do the other side, we're going to flip it and so that it's opposite, and that the smaller portion of the bevel is at the top and the larger portion of the bevel is at the bottom, in order for us to make these cuts and make them both parallel with each other. All right, now that we have all of the tops cut, we switch from the first one, which we had the thicker portion this way, and now we switch to the second one, which I have the thinner portion set up front. And now we will basically flip this guy over like so. And we need to move our piece here to the second line so that we get enough cut off of it. And now should be And now we have the most nerve-wracking part of this build, the glue up. And in order to accomplish this glue up, what I'm basically doing is laying down all the staves down on the top side and putting masking tape on the back sides of them. And I'm doing this in two separate pieces because trying to do it in one is almost impossible for it to be able to flip over and be able to get glue in. And even with two, it's still pretty difficult, and I have some tape coming loose. But it's all good. We all worked through it, and we are able to get this thing glued up in two sections. And then I use some ratchet straps to secure the glue up just a little bit tighter. I gotta say, I just watched the video of the clip you just saw, and it looked way easier on that sped up video than it actually was. Like, yeah, we was battling tape coming loose and everything else, but we here, it is together, it is clamped down, and the only thing I have to do is make sure that some point in time I have to shift this thing around before it glues itself to the floor, because I got glue underneath of it in certain spots. So other than that, let this guy glue up, and then we can move on to the tabletop. So this tabletop is going to be 72 inches, so I cut these rough size boards down to about 75 inches just to make it easier to do the glue up. And then we're going to move over to the jointer and basically allow us to straight edge all of the one side of the joints before we move to the table saw to straight edge the other side of these planks. Alright, so now we're going to mark some lines on this tabletop to set some dominoes in here. And these dominoes are for alignment for the tabletop to make the glue up easier. And speaking of making it easier, this is the first time I've tried to do a glue up completely in the vertical position. And so after 10 years of doing glue ups and tables, this is the easiest way I've ever done it. And I don't think I'm going back. Like, this is by far the easiest way I've ever glued up a tabletop, hands down. Can't believe it. I waited this long to try this. And now it's time to start sanding this table base. I'm not going to bore you with that. I'm just going to give you a small little clip here and just let you know there's a lot of sanding. This took forever. Alright guys, we got the tabletop up off the floor and on the workbench. We can now take it out of the clamps and get ready to start flattening this tabletop. I did have some high spots in this tabletop where things didn't quite align well, where there were no dominoes. In order to get the oval shape and the under bevel on the tabletop, I used the CNC to do that operation. But now we are on to sanding and finishing and rounding over the edges, getting it prepared for finish. I chose Rubio Monocoat Pure, one, because it is a very easy finish to apply onto tabletops and furniture, but two, I chose the pure color so that I can just give it a nice rich warm tone to this solid ash. I think this is one of the better looking tables that I have made, and this pure is going to basically enrich that natural color of the ash without giving it any like whitewash type of film to it. And like I said, this is a really easy finish to apply. Basically, you just wipe it all on, get it in the grains, make sure you swirl it around, get it cross grain and with the grain, and then you can just wipe it off. Same thing with the tabletop. We start basically just going with it cross grain, and then basically once it is all covered, we give it a couple of minutes, and then we wipe it all off, make sure all the excess is wiped off really good, and it'll have a beautiful, smooth, natural feeling finish to the tabletop. I did not catch on video me securing the tabletop to the table base, but I wanted to let you guys know I used figure 8 tabletop clips. These work great because they allow seasonal wood movement for the table to move left and right without the wood cracking. And all you have to do is drill a 1/16 recess pre-drill where your screw is going, and then secure it on one side, flip it over, and then secure it to your actual tabletop. And there you have it, a figure 8 tabletop fastener and how it's installed. And now she is all done. This thing looks good. Alright guys, thank you for joining me on this table build. It has been a treat for me to get back to my roots of using the table saw to build things, and I really enjoyed it. Like I said, this table is a 6 foot by 40 inch solid ash table with a conical base, and now we are about to pack this guy up for delivery. We're going to dismantle the top from the base, pack it up in the truck, and deliver it to its final home, where this is going to a lucky winner of a $25 raffle ticket that they won in my church. And the raffle was in support of Easter event for the kids. So I'm going to pack this guy up and get it to its final resting home. I just want to say thank you for joining me, and until next time, later.